I'm Helen and welcome to this vlog. I have decided to every month, at the end of every month, do a roundup of what I have been doing in my crafting life, whether that's weaving, knitting, spinning, dyeing, cross stitch, or all the other things that I seem to do. I don't want to take up too much of the time actually talking about myself on this and introducing myself massively, but I live in the north of England and I have wanted to do this for such a long time and be a full-time crafts person, and now I can be. I left the NHS last year after going back on a massive dive with the pandemic, getting drafted kind of back in to do this, that and the other, and last year I finally left. But then last year, instead of starting all this, moved. Other things happened last year, moved. Lots of big things happened. I met my amazing partner. We've moved in together. So that was very, very early last year. In fact, I was still working very, very early last year and met my partner. And I just decided that there was other things that I wanted to do. I've always wanted to be an artist, fibre artist for years. And I'm finally getting chance to do it. Now, I was going to start doing this when I actually had access to a studio. I do have studio space with this new place that we've moved to, but it is being used for something else at the moment. Something lovely though. My son is home. He came back in the pandemic, was stopping for a bit, and he's still here. He's planning to go venturing off again, and but until he does, he's using that space, and Chrissy's studio space is being used for something else. So until then, we've made our own little makeshift kind of studio space, and we're very happy with it. It does what it says on the tin, I think is the phrase. It is a space for me to sew and weave. I can then sit lounged out on my sofa and I can crochet there or cross stitch and knit. I don't have access to everything, so I can only use what I have access to in the space that I've got, but it just means that I can actually catch up on some things that have been left or not used for a while. It's really springy, sunny today. Look at it. It's so bright out there. We had a spring and then it went really wintry again, and it looks like spring is here. So it's nice and bright. So I thought I'd record this today at the end of the month to say what I've been doing in April. Now, I haven't crafted for the whole of the month in April, and I also have chronic illness. So crafting and chronic illness doesn't always go together, and actually just creating this studio space, just actually moving some stuff about and creating this space wiped me out totally for at least a week, and then I had other things to catch up on. So I finally got this thing done, and I finally was a couple of weeks ago sat down and could craft again. So I've only got a couple of weeks worth of projects and things to show you, so there's not masses and masses. I've actually made some notes as well. I'm being organised, and I will talk maybe about what the crafts I do as I show you them, instead of me saying I do this and this. By the end of the vlog, you'll have forgotten anyway. I know I will have done. If you want to follow my work further, please do subscribe. Like this video, it would share it with other people and other people can find it. It's always a bit scary when you start on things like YouTube. It's you have to rely on other people liking what you do or sharing these vlogs. I found some amazing vlogs that I wish I'd seen earlier, but it's thanks to people sharing them that you actually eventually find them in the end. So it's great. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook as The Wild Moon Weaver on Instagram and just Wild Moon Weaver on Facebook. I don't do Facebook that often, but Instagram, I am trying to get more people on there. I did have 2 accounts. Well, I did have an account, and that got changed to Darkwave Wargamer. So I still do that because I still do wargaming with my partner, and that's kind of changed. But that was the original weaving one, and now and then I moved Wild Moon Weaver onto a new one. But it seems to be most of my followers are still on my old one. So it's and most of the things. So I do have a link though on my Instagram for my other page, so at least then if you follow it and you want to see some of the older things that I did, you can go to the other page. So I'm going to make a start with what I have done. I'm going to start off with finished items and what I have finished this month. So one of the things that I have done, and I wouldn't say it's a full finished project, it was a bit of a trial and error thing that I wanted to do. So as I said, I have a wargaming channel as well with my partner. We both like to play Warhammer, and especially a game called The Woods. And we were thinking of ways to make scenery and things. And I decided, I wonder if you can do some textile arts, and didn't think of felting until I watched a lady called Trish, who is, she's a sculptor. She sculpts the miniatures for wargaming, and she said she started needle felting scenery, and I thought, needle felting scenery. So I decided I can't find my needles at the moment for needle felting, but I do have a blending board, and I have lots and lots of green fibre. So I had a go at felting a forest floor. So this is just a practice square to see what it would look like, how much it would stretch, how durable it would be for gaming, and it has done what I've wanted it to do. So I'm going to hopefully make some more of these green squares on the blending board, and then felt them all together for a mat. We're hopefully going to a games day in June, and so hopefully I'm going to have it all done by that. So next month's vlog, if not the June vlog, I might have a bigger felted mat to show you. And it's really nice that it kind of incorporates my 2 I'm going to say it was really weird saying hobbies, because my fibercraft is now my full-time thing. So I used to work in the NHS, which meant my hobbies were my fibercraft. Fibercraft is now my life, my wargaming is now my hobby. So I've kind of shifted things along, but it's nice to have my actual fibercrafts and my wargaming in one thing. So I was really pleased that I can incorporate both of the things that I love, and it will kind of do for both. So I've done that. I've also done some hand spun yarn. I've not done much. There's a hair there, or is it a piece of the yarn? No, it's a hair. This is just, I don't know, hopefully the colour will come up for you. The pink yarn, by the way, is the ties that I've done to tie it up with. This is merino. It was spun on my Ashford Traveller spinning wheel. I've got some nice chunky thick bits there that I pulled. These are all colours. I so I went to Adelaide Walker last year, and I bought some bigger things, more equipment, and I was looking at their fibre, and I usually blend my own fibre bits together, but they had this really beautiful blend of purples, and I just got 100 grams of it, and then I decided to spin it up. I'm not sure what this is going to be yet, because I don't think there's loads of it, but I have seen a shawl in one of the magazines. I think it's one of the Ashford Wheel magazines, of making shawls with hand spun, and I think I might do that, because the idea is, however much yarn you've got, will be the size of the shawl. But that means then you can then carry on with more hand spun and make it bigger. So I might start that with it. That's the plan. I have also done 2 weavings, 2 woven projects. This was meant to be a shawl. It's ended up being a wall hanging because 3 warp threads got ripped. You can see the gap, and actually I love the gap. The weaving that I prefer to do is sari weaving, intuitive free weaving. I like to just let myself go with the weaving, and this is using hand dyed yarn. So the only thing that's not obviously dyed is the white in this. Everything else is hand dyed. So I dyed the top purple, so that was a hand spun yarn that I have done, and I dyed this one there. That was purples and greens. I called that Lilac Tree. That and these were all dyed back in 2017, 18, a long time ago. That purple and white was a gift from a friend. It was another indie dyer, and I cannot remember her name, and I do apologise for that. But it was a sock yarn that was hand dyed, and then this other one here was dyed by another indie dyer, Dye Candy, and it's Maleficent. It was Disney Princess Maleficent, and obviously the bottom I have, if I can, is in my hand dyed purples, 2 different types of purple. So you can see there's a square at the bottom, and then I just embroidered as it was on the loom, free-handed a spiral. It just wanted to be a spiral. So that's going to be 1 wall hanging for my studio space when I get it. And this is my other piece here. This is called I'm just going to make sure it's in the camera. Yes, it is. The Red Thread. And it's an art piece that I decided to do. So my hair is itching my ear. It's having big hair is great. Keeps you warm in the winter, but there's obviously a breeze. I've opened a window and it's blowing these little strands of hair, and it's tickling me. So I've done this and it was a journey where I started off, and it starts off with the red thread of a journey of womanhood, going down, connecting us to every other woman, every other being. And then we have here my journey of where it's taken me. And there's some clasped weaving as well in this. And it's in pinks, and it's not usually a colour that I would normally pick up and use, but it was actually a piece that was left on this, the other way, this loom here. This is the little sample it loom that I had, and I took this, I did a woven medicine course, and I took women on a weaving journey to teach them to weave and spin. And it was a piece that was warped up, that was left on there, and there wasn't any, apart from that much weaving had been done on it. It was obviously what was left over from the weekend. I've obviously retied it on, and there was just a bit left, and the weft thread was still wound on the bobbin, the shuttle, so I just decided to weave with it. And it was in cotton. Again, I don't use cottons massively, I usually use wool, so it was really, really nice to do something totally different, just a little piece, and actually to finally finish that off and take that off the loom. So that's what I've been doing weaving wise. I've done as well, I'm just going to grab this bag now. I've left it in a bag because So I have this art batt that I have made. It's got some little wool nips in. It has this purple, which is actually bamboo fibre, dyed bamboo fibre, and the grey is Gotland. And there is some sparkly Angelina, and I'm not quite sure. You could possibly see some sparkly bits. The camera's not picking up any of the sparkly bits, but there is some sparkly Angelina in there as well. That is going to be coarse spun, I think, because it's a very, very short staple length. Is Gotland, very, very, very short staple. As you can see, it is really short. It kind of it's very, very soft. And I thought with the bamboo, just to give it that little bit, because bamboo is a bit stronger. That's why I have made an art back with that. That's going to get stuck on my finger. That's going to be coarse spun. And I've also, as well, been doing some alpaca Rolags. I'm going to try and get them with all 3 colours on. So I got some alpaca yarn, oh gosh, before the pandemic. This is how long I've had it. And it was part of, I got it with a spindle. I think I wanted some spindles, and I think because I ordered some spindles, obviously because I was doing courses with hand spindling and teaching them, I wanted some spindles, and I got some fibre, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to have something different, and decided to get some alpaca. I hopefully would have had a Rolag with all 3 colours on. Yes, this one does. They've all come undone in the box. Let me just wind this back up. So here is, there was dark, there's like a browny colour, and then there's a greyish colour. So they're all a natural colour. I have made, decided to make Rolags. So I'm just going to put this away so it's not disturbing us. And also, as well, the fibre, because I've got a window open, the fibre keep blowing about, and I keep like itching my face. So I do apologise. It's bits of it's an occupational hazard when you work with bits of yarn. There's always little bits floating about the place. So that's what I've been up to with my weaving and my spinning. I've also done as well a pair of socks, and I'm going to have to insert a photograph. So here is the socks that I have done. They are from the yarn from Yarndale, which was called Hope, which in 2020 was brought out as I think to give us all hope that it would be over. I've actually got that yarn here. So it's the signature 4-ply in the Hope colourway. And as I say, I've had this, it came with a bag. That's Barbara. So yeah, I got this, and finally I knitted some socks for myself. So, but I have put them in the wash. They are currently indisposed. So I can't show you the socks, but I have put a photograph up. But yeah, I love these signature 4-ply West Yorkshire spinner yarns for socks. I've got some more. I've got one in I've got Christmas colourway ones. That I knitted up a couple of Christmases ago, and I've got another one which is like a robin. I think it's based on the bird, the robin. They do different birds, and we did a Christmas one. So I really like making socks with their yarns, and that was really all I got done, really finished this month. Works in progress. Progress. I have a bobbin on my spinning wheel at the moment with some fibre that I literally, it was plaited up and just hung over my warping frame, which is just over there. And I just thought, I'm just going to spin that up. I'm just going to spin it up and get it out of the way. I am trying to get projects, things that I've had half finished, half done, or little bits of things that are left. I'm just trying to kind of get them together and do little bits while I'm waiting for my studio space to become a full-time thing. So I have been also as well knitting on a pair of socks for my partner. So this is my purple hand-dyed yarn that was in that weaving as well, and this is the Maleficent that is also in that the weaving I showed you, and then on the toe my hand-dyed purple again. So that is, I've done one sock, so he's got one sock done, obviously not blocked or anything, and then I have part of the other sock cast on here as well. So and it's nice that I've got a wall hanging, and Chris has some socks out of this yarn. It is still all caked up here, and this ended up being a centre pull ball. Now I've stopped using them centre pull because they just end up as not balls, as whatever they want to be, but that was the one I dyed up myself. It seems ages ago now. I'd like to not think it was ages ago, but it was ages ago. It was before the pandemic. So I'm trying to use things that I've had for a long time, and it goes in my little Barbara bag. So that's a little bag that I take around for doing socks. I've got some cross stitches, and I'm not going to show you this episode what they are, and I'm not going to go too much on about cross stitch at all. This episode, it'll be something that I talk more about in another one when I've actually got them to show you them. I've got two that I can get access to, and the other one, they're all kind of folded in on themselves and they're all packed away. As I say, I moved here last year and there's still things that I haven't managed to unpack fully yet. I don't know where all the stuff is, and so yeah, it's it is what it is, but they will come out at some point. I don't do masses of cross stitch anymore. It used to be many years ago when I started cross stitching in the very early 90s, and when I had my daughter in 93, I cross-stitched her an amazing sampler, and that's what really got me into it, doing samplers. So I don't really do it massively now, because weaving and spinning and other things, I just prefer them so much more. I prefer being free with what I do, so I prefer weaving intuitively, spinning intuitively. And that's why I like those more than other crafts, because I can just sit down with them and go with them without following a pattern. So, alpaca has gone up my nose. I do apologise. What else have I got? That's really it. I did buy that Gotland recently. That's an acquisition that I got. I haven't really bought much more. I did buy some yarn last year for someone else because they wanted, I did a commissioned project just before Christmas, a big knitted wraparound shawl for someone. that alpaca is like floating about. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's floating about. It keeps getting my nose and keeps itching my nose. I went to an Ashford day last week with my friend Michelle. We decided just to go up. It was a bit of a, do we have the time? Can we go? Yes, we can. And it was really nice seeing Kate, who is from Ashford. She came over from New Zealand and again did a fantastic day showing the Ashford products, what they do, tips, tricks, ideas. It was just fantastic. It was nice seeing Kate again. And the loom, the big jack loom, was there. And that on the jack loom was a warp that me and Kate had put on. Kate had wound it up the night before and I helped to thread it on the next day. And it's still on the loom. So it was nice to see this warp that we'd done from this loom. It was really nice to kind of see what's the progress that's been made with the weaving, with some demonstrations, what people have done. It was great. It was great catching up as well. And yeah, I hope it's not too long next time that we see each other. And I just want to end with really some of the things that I'm going to be thinking about this month. Tour de Fleece is coming up in July or June. I can't even think now, but I'm fibre prepping for Tour de Fleece. I've wanted to do Tour de Fleece for years. Work has got in the way, life got in the way. I am now this year going to do Tour de Fleece, so I'm prepping fibre for Tour de Fleece. If you don't know what Tour de Fleece is, it's you follow along with the Tour de France, but instead of cycling on the cycle, you treadle on your spinning wheel. Really, I suppose that's why it's a bit. Sometimes I've got a double treadle wheel. It is a bit like a little bit of a cycle, really. Little feet go like this. But yeah, it's you spin along with cycle races, and I actually do enjoy the Tour de France. So I'm looking forward to this year. Sat down and actually doing the Tour de Fleece. So I think it's July. It might start at the end of June and then go into July. But I'm sure I read July somewhere. I'm going to be spinning up those Rolags, so hopefully next time those alpaca Rolags will be spun up into something, and the art batt will be coarse spun, and hopefully I'll have the yarn of that to show you as well. And I'll obviously have Chrissy's socks that will be finished. I'm not dyeing any yarns at the moment. My kitchen and space for dyeing is still not ready yet. Everything is still, all my dye equipment is still all packed away. My dyes are still all packed away. I haven't even made that space yet. And the reason why is I still haven't fit, there's part of the kitchen that still needs doing since we moved in, and I've just not, there's been other things that I've taken the priority from doing that. So that will be done at some point. I'll start dyeing yarns again, and I can get them into the shop, which will be really good, she says. But at the moment, there's no dyeing going on at all. I did do some dyeing though, not last year, the year before, with the Bengala mud dyes. And so I think what I'm going to probably do is order some more Bengala mud dyes. They're an amazing cold immersion dye, make amazing colours, beautiful natural earthy colours from the earth, made out of colour pigments from the earth. So made by a small family company in Japan. I will talk to you more about my Japanese crafts. So I like sari weaving, I like sakiori making, so weaving, which is a bits of material and repurposing and recycling. I like shibori dyeing and indigo dyeing, so shibori dyeing, and I like doing kumihimo braiding. I like doing little braids with that, and sashiko is something else that I'm just getting into as well. So I do like Japanese. I'm learning to speak Japanese. I'm just not very, very good at all. It's a very amazing language and I love the culture. So pleased to go to Japan to do my sari weaving there, and spend time with the Joe family. They're an incredible family. The weaving studio is just, it's just amazing. It's best thing that I've ever done trip wise, and I can't wait to go again. So yeah, I'll be hopefully talking more things Japan with you all at some point, and if I go, not if I go back, when I go back, hopefully take you along with me as well and show you the things that I get up to there. Anything else? I was going to speak to you a little bit about a crochet project that me and my friend are planning on doing, well, we are going to be doing next year as something for ourselves, like a crochet along. But I will talk about that in another video as I prep for it and as I get some stuff. It's better that I've got something to show you then and some ideas than just tell you bits and probably repeat it. So I'm going to leave that there. Please do like and subscribe if you want to see more. At the moment, I'm just going to be doing, I think, updates at the end of the month, what I'm knitting, spinning, weaving, dyeing, that kind of stuff. When eventually I get studio space, I can start doing studio vlogs, tutorials, shop updates, anything that comes along that I want to share that I think you might like to know, how-tos, that kind of stuff. But at the moment it will be the end of the month, definitely, these little vlog updates. This is going to be the video log for myself as well, so I can see what I've been up to, what I have accomplished, what I have done. I will talk in future a little bit more about chronic illness and what chronic illnesses I have and how that has affected my life and how it affects my crafting, and some of the things that I do to get around that, really. And I think that's it for this episode. Please follow me on Instagram, Wild Moon Weaver. Comment, it'd be great to know what you're all getting up to as well. Comment here if anybody else does free weaving, if anybody else does knitting, spinning, dyeing. Enjoyed the vlog. Was the lighting okay? Was the sound okay? So anything they'd like to see, is anything they'd like to know more in the future? What kinds of videos would you like to see in the future? Please put it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope you have beautiful weather where you are and you enjoy the rest of the week. And until I speak to you again, take care. Bye.